Hey everybody. Well, today I want to talk logging a little bit, and specifically logging regeneration. And the first thing I want to talk about is some regeneration that you do want to see post logging, and then I want to talk about some stuff that you don't want to see, but there's a reason not to panic when you see this. Alright, so here's one you clearly do want to see. That's 2.5 years worth of aspen regeneration, and wow, look at it. Welcome to the jungle. This stuff will outcompete anything. So if you got aspen, this is going to be smooth sailing for you, because look at that regeneration. It just completely took over everything. Aspen is what you want when you're a deer manager or wildlife manager, because so many species benefit from it. It's the end of May and I bumped a deer right out of there. There's probably several of them in here because it is thick. But if you have aspen and they're marketable and you got loggers in, take them out, because that is a lot of stems per acre. That is a ton of forage. That is a ton of cover. And I have seen it year after year after year that those mature bucks will select these areas because they love this cover. The only thing I'm going to do to manage this, as you can see, I actually do have some trails working through it. Narrow trails. I'll come back in here within June. I like to be out of the woods by the end of July, but I'm going to come back in June and actually clear some narrow trails working through the aspen to guide the movement by a deer stand I got right up over the hill. So this type of regeneration is something you definitely want to see post logging. More good stuff. We got chokecherry coming. I love it. I'm guessing the birds probably planted these for us. They come in here, they perched on these trees, pooped out the seeds. Now we got full sunlight, and we got chokecherry coming back. So very cool to see this one in the middle of the woods. Another cool one, we got dogwood, pagoda dogwood to be exact. Another great species to see in the middle of the woods. I love it. Alright, there's one I don't want to see. We got buckthorn, nasty. That's an invasive, worst invasive we have on the farm. So definitely going to treat that. That's the only buckthorn actually seen on this hilltop, so that's good. But really important post logging to come in and take care of that if you have that floating around in the woods. Here's another thing that happened post logging. We got a lot of thistle, particularly Canada thistle, which is invasive, that came in on these hilltops in these hardwood areas. Now, I'm sure that the seed has been blown in here for 100 years, and once that sunlight came, the seed came, and you can see it's coming back. So this summer, I'm sure it'll balloon back up, and we're gonna get, it'll probably be sitting at about 5 feet tall. So that looks like a big issue, and I could come in and I could treat, and I could treat, and I could treat, and I could treat this Canada thistle. But I walked this with a forester who's been doing this forever, and he told me, he said, don't worry about it, because eventually the woody stuff will outcompete it. And you can see there's plenty of woody stuff growing here that hasn't died by getting choked out from the Canada thistle. He said eventually those successional stages will play out and the woody stuff will win. It might take a few extra years, but he told me not to worry about the thistle, and that's fine because I got lots of other projects to do. So it is kind of nasty to see this thistle in here in the middle of the summer dropping seed, but eventually the woody stuff will win out. I mean, you think of Dr. Craig Harper, and he talks about those successional stages of growth. You know, we start the first year or two, you get your annual species, then you get your perennials that set in, which are Canada thistle as a perennial. But then eventually the woody succession outcompetes everything if you just leave it. So I am not going to worry about the Canada thistle. Another invasive we saw post logging right there, that's mullein. I'm trying to see if we got any, thankfully none growing underneath this stalk, but it's now I can't remember. I'm pretty sure mullein was an annual, but don't quote me on that. I don't see it growing back up out of the base, but it drops a lot of seed. So I'm sure there'll be more coming here at some point. I'm not seeing any growing But mullein is one that we saw post logging. And again, it's another one I'm not going to worry about because the woody species will eventually outcompete. So lots of thistle, but even like I have a spot like that, lots of thistle, then you pander this way and boom, the woody species are winning the day. Oh, another couple buckthorn. Yeah, we got to kill those bad boys. But you can see in here tons of brambles. We got some stump sprouts with some ironwood, which not my favorite, but at least it's native. Got the aspen coming back through here. All kinds of good stuff growing in here. A little bit of elm. Oh, another buckthorn up in there. I'll definitely be walking through here with the backpack sprayer once July 1st hits. But yeah, even, oh, look at that big beautiful burrow coming in. I'll protect that one a little bit. I'll at least free it up a little. It was getting smushed by that. I have to pull some brush over that guy. Love seeing that. Anyway, so yeah, don't freak out if you see a bunch of thistle or you see some mullein. Eventually those successional stages will play out, and I'm confident this will be all woody stems eventually. There's the mullein, and it is definitely a perennial. I looked it up, so I was wrong. Comes back every year. And just look at that beautiful regeneration. All getting peppered. Talked about it before. Deer love basswood. We got basswood coming back. Lots of chokecherry. Must have been a lot of seeds. So all kinds of good stuff, and you can just see the contrast with all that green, especially up through there. That is getting thick. Now here's the area that wasn't logged. Look at that, see right in there. Closed canopy woods. Removing that canopy is a beautiful thing. And check it out. You can see well into there. So yeah, logging works great. You might have some stuff coming back post-logging that you don't like. If it's woody species, get on it. If you're in the north and it's, you know, the Canada thistle or mullein, you can certainly go after it if you want, but I'm thinking there's a lot of seed that's sitting and waiting to pop every single year. So I think my best bet, like the forester told me, is to just wait it out, and when eventually the woody stuff canopy's over, should stop that Canada thistle growth and we'll be good to go. Ooh, here's an ugly patch. That's old buckthorn. That needs to die. Yeah, definitely going to be spending a good day in here with the old backpack sprayer and hammer all this junk. All right, that's it for today. So you all take care. God bless.